Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now this beast is an HD Radeon 2400 XT. It doesn't look like much, but that's because it isn't. It's the result of shopping around on a very strict budget. Most money I make on YouTube goes back into the channel, buying hardware or software as required to make these videos. And as I sat and remembered my early days on the platform the other week, I couldn't help but wonder how much ad revenue my very first video made. And after finding out, I thought why not make that the budget for this video, just to see what we could end up with. At first, this seemed difficult. According to the analytics, we had less than 0.01 US dollars to play with. I didn't really feel that much more hopeful after I realised the figure was actually 46 cents, about 36 pence here in the UK. Thankfully, really old hardware, if it isn't rare, can sometimes sell for pennies on sites like eBay, and this beaten up old video card had no bids at its 25p starting price, probably partly due to the untested item condition. This actually cost less than the original budget, so the 2400 XT released around the same time as the 2600 XT, though this was the entry-level option as $79. With 256MB of DDR3 VRAM and a 25W TDP, it was ideal for low-powered systems, though not really gaming-based ones per se. So, want to see what it can do? Well, first up it's Crysis, 2007's demanding AAA resource hog. Somehow this card managed to stick closer to the better end of the 20s in terms of frame rate, though even with everything set to low and AA turned off, the experience wasn't quite a playable one. 1024x768 was the chosen resolution, but I recorded the gameplay at 720p, hence why there are no black bars each side of the screen. There were a few freezes here too, and if that should happen as you try to take on an enemy, well, you'll be in trouble. Far Cry 3 was among the newest titles tested today, and it goes to show that most titles of this age or newer will struggle on this card. This is the opening level of the game, but as things progress and open up a bit, we'd probably be looking at even lower figures here. Not ideal for a game that features a lot of fast-paced action, especially once you get out of this sort of tutorial level. Now, next we have an absolute classic that isn't given enough credit these days, especially with games like Red Dead on the market. This is Gun, an old school western that I originally owned on the PS2. That's relevant here because the PC version I believe is a port, so it runs at a locked 30 FPS, and will run okay on the 2400 XT. I recommend this one highly if you've never played it. That's what I love about old graphics cards. Because you have to look a little harder for games that will actually run on them, it's not uncommon to rediscover an old classic you may have forgotten about, or a game that you've yet to play at all. Speaking of which, and Half-Life 2 was quite playable on this card as well. I turned things up quite a bit in an effort to get a decent combination of graphical quality and performance, targeting 30 FPS primarily, and during this root canal level it seemed to pay off. This is another one that's certainly worth playing if you haven't done so before, and will run on even the lowest end of GPUs and CPUs, if you're willing to take a sacrifice as far as graphics are concerned. Finally, I tested out Modern Warfare 2, a great game that still holds up today and surely must be due a remaster. This campaign level was quite demanding on the little 2400 here because of the smoke effects. That's partly why I tested it. Looking away from this made the FPS shoot up quite significantly, but any time too much was happening on screen, well, the performance wasn't too fantastic to say the least. Overall, on this budget we found a card that worked, and one that felt very nostalgic to use. It was never a great GPU, but it's always been cheap, ridiculously so today. And with that, I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like on it down below, leave a dislike if you didn't, let me know if you've ever owned this little beast down below in the comments section, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one.